Hi, and welcome to chrisryan.ca. This is my first video blog for the Ask Chris series. So this series are going to be questions that the general public like yourself sends in, and then I either will give you the answers because of my own experience, or if I don't know the answers, then I'll actually go to someone and ask them to join me with the video blog and answering whatever question you may have. I'm meeting with a first-time home buyer this afternoon, and he's interested in purchasing a condo here in HRM. So I'm going to be giving him a quick tutorial about condominium ownership, the purchase of, or the process of buying it. And I thought, since I've been asked that many times over the years of being a realtor, that I would put sort of a Coles Notes version of this right here. So when you're buying a condo, it's really, think about like you're buying shares in a company, a private company. And you want to make sure that that company is financially secure. You want to make sure that it's got a good management team, that it has a plan for future growth. It's got a plan for in case of things go sideways a little bit, that it can weather some storms if it needs to, financial storms. So when you think about it that way, that's really what you're buying within a condominium corporation. You're buying space within a larger building. So just like shares of a company. So you want to make sure that it's structurally sound, so it was built properly, it's been maintained properly, it's being run properly, and it has a future plan on future expenses. Because everything, like me, like this chair I'm sitting in, like the wood behind me, everything has a lifespan. Everything gets tired and kind of broken down over time, and everything will need maintenance or in need of being replaced. So that's why you not only make sure that it's the warm and fuzzy, which is the psychology when you're buying a property, is that it meets your needs, it's in a good location. You walk in there and you picture yourself and your family spending time there, or maybe the Christmas tree in the corner and all that type of thing. And the same thing goes with buying a house. But with a condo, it's not only that, but then is it financially sound? By being financially sound, there is the reserve fund. The reserve fund is basically the savings account for the condominium corporation where all of your condo fees go into. The reserve fund is basically broken up into 3 different accounts, if you want to think of it that way. And by the way, my family and I have built a lot of the condo corps in downtown Halifax, so I know condos intimately, as amongst other things. So there's large expenses, medium expenses, and small expenses. The large expenses would be something that you're budgeting for, like a roof, the furnace, chiller if it's got air conditioning, windows, larger expenses. Medium expenses, and they all eventually need to be switched out or dealt with or maintained. Medium expenses would be maybe the carpet or whatnot in the common areas throughout the building. So it's not a huge expense, but it is still not a minor expense. So that would sort of be something in the middle. A small expense would be maybe the landscaping that needs to be touched up at the end of every winter when the plow would go down and clip the greenery or the shrubs, and it would tear them out. So little expenses you'd have to maintain and deal with on a monthly or annual basis. So you want to make sure that those different expense accounts or savings accounts are adequately funded now, and they're on track to be fully funded when those types of materials cease to be able to serve their purpose. So that is the process of checking out the financial feasibility of the condominium corporation. So when you buy a house, your due diligence is usually inspection, financing, insurance from a buyer's perspective. So again, inspection, financing, insurance, the satisfactory review of the last 12 months of operating costs, so that could be Nova Scotia Power, oil, propane, water sometimes, whatever the case may be. But with the condominium corporation, it's those things, as well as satisfactory review of the reserve fund, so there's documents with that. You need to have a look at the estoppel certificate. The estoppel certificate is a financial snapshot. It's a snapshot of the financial health or the status of that condominium corporation. And yourself, and possibly myself, but more importantly your lawyer, will review that to make sure everything is correct. You don't want to buy into a financially ill or sick condominium corporation where it's structurally falling apart. If you run into that and there's no budget in the reserve fund, what will happen is that special assessments will then be explained to you, and you will not like special assessments. Special assessments means that it wasn't budgeted for. It just sort of happened. There's lots of condo corps downtown where they were the result of conversions from an apartment building to a condo corporation. A lot of them down around the universities, and they were never built to be a condo. They were built to be an apartment building. So there's structural things that just weren't maintained because it was a rental property, and then it converted into a condo corporation. So the bricks are falling off, the windows are leaking, that type of thing. And if they haven't budgeted for it and it happens anyway, then that means that all of the condominium ownership, all of the owners together, have to chip in out of their own pocket and pay like a one-time thing. And not many people have thousands of dollars to just throw on the table. There's been examples of new condominium corporations, new buildings, several in Bedford, where they were built, but they were built improperly and they leaked within months of being constructed, and people sold and people purchased them and moved in. And some of those special assessments were $25,000, $30,000 because they had to tear off the front of the building, redo everything, caulk everything, redo the windows and the whole bit. And then there's one building where that happened twice. So not many people have liquidity or wealth that they just want to throw away, because your property doesn't increase in value when that happens. It's just something that needs to be taken care of. So there's that side of it. So being a person that sells lots of condos, I already have a good idea of which condos you want to stay away from and which condos are not only financially sound but structurally solid, so there's no worries there. And then of course your condominium fees, what's included in your condo fees. Most people are really interested, is my heat and hot water, or are my heat and hot water included in my monthly fee? Here's a trick. As soon as you walk into a condo corporation or to a unit, if it's apartment style, because a condo can be anything, a townhouse, fully detached house, anything can be condominiumized, but most people know it as an apartment style condo. So they walk in, look at the radiators. If the radiators are hot water baseboard, odds are your hot water and your heating are rolled into the condominium corporation, your condo fees. If it's electric, odds are they're not. Reason being is because typically there's one focused or one generator or heating, like a furnace, okay, down in the basement, and that one furnace will supply all the hot water, domestic and for heating, throughout the entire building. So it's impossible to figure out which amount of energy is going to which unit. So that's why they increase the condo fees where everybody should be okay. By default, everybody has a Nova Scotia power meter. Everybody. So if you walk inside and you see an electric baseboard heater, by default, your heat and hot water are not included, typically. If you see a hot water baseboard, by default, it is included. So there's an example of condominiums, what to look for, things to be aware of, things to stay away from, and some good questions to ask when you're thinking about investing in a condo corporation. And of course, if you wish me to, I can certainly spend time with you, educate you a little bit more about what's going on here in HRM with regards to condos as well as everything else, and make sure that your investment is a sound and safe one. Thanks.